Good morning everyone. In our previous video, we have discussed about summary, theme and style of the chapter The Story of an Hour, and by the end of this video, you will be able to understand the text of the chapter, learn the use of contrast in the chapter and learn about the literary devices used in the chapter. Let us now read out the text from page number 54 till page 57 from your textbook. Knowing that Mrs. Mallard was afflicted with a heart trouble, great care was taken to break to her as gently as possible the news of her husband's death. Now children, what is the meaning of afflicted? Afflicted means troubled. So the author Kate Chopin introduces Louise Mallard as a woman with a health condition whom others need to deal carefully with. The others worry that the news of Louise's husband's death could threaten her own life if it is not delivered gently. This initial portrayal characterizes Louise delicate and needing a careful attention. It was her sister Josephine who told her in broken sentences veiled hints that revealed in half concealing. Now children, what is the meaning of veiled? Veiled means hidden. And again, what is the meaning of concealing? It also means in a hidden way. Her husband's friend Richards was there too, near her. Now Josephine, who is the sister of the main character, that is Mrs. Mallard, didn't tell the news in one go. She spoke in broken sentences, in gaps and pauses, and she gave the news in a veiled and concealing way. So she revealed the news but half concealed it. Now Mrs. Mallard's husband's friend Richards was also there. So they both, Josephine and Richards, were concerned about Mrs. Mallard's condition and they very gently broke the news. It was he who had been in the newspaper office when intelligence of the railroad disaster was received with Brentley Mallard's name leading the list of killed. Now it was he. Who he? It was Richards. What is the meaning of intelligence? Intelligence means information. So Richards was in newspaper office when this information regarding this railroad accident was received with Brentley Mallard's name on top of the list. He had only taken the time to assure himself of its truth by a second telegram and had hastened to forestall any less careful, less tender friend in bearing the sad message. Now let us see quickly what are the meanings of the following words. What is the meaning of hastened? It means quickened. What is the meaning of forestall? It means obstruct by taking advance action. What is the meaning of tender? It means caring. And what is the meaning of bearing? It means carrying. So Richard seems to be a very good friend of the family. He waited for another telegram to confirm the news of the railroad disaster. So he took up the burden of going to Mrs. Mallard and revealed this shocking, sad news of her husband's death to her. He did so that no other less careful or less tender friend broke this news to Mrs. Mallard. She did not hear the story as many women have heard the same, with a paralyzed inability to accept its significance. She wept at once with sudden wild abandonment in her sister's arm. Now children, what is the meaning of paralyzed? It means incapable of movements. Abandonment, a thorough yielding. Now here the author Chopin contrasts Louise Mallard with how other women would be expected to react to such news. They would be shocked, paralyzed, and they would take it with an inability to comprehend the event. However, Louise is not paralyzed by the news. She understands it immediately. Her ability to accept her husband's death foreshadows her eventual reaction to this news. Her true feelings are conveyed through this point, which she may not even understand at this point. So she weeps immediately in her sister's arms. When the storm of grief had spent itself, she went away to her room alone. She would have no one follow her. So after crying for some time, she took control of herself. She went to her own room. So she instructed that no one should follow her. She wanted to have some time with herself in her grief. There stood, facing the open window, a comfortable, roomy armchair. Into this she sank, pressed down by a physical exhaustion that haunted her body and seemed to reach into her soul. So there was a spacious, comfortable armchair facing the open window of her room. So what did she do? She sank herself into that armchair in the state of exhaustion, physically and mentally. She was physically and mentally both tired because she had heard a shocking news. She could see in the open square before her house the tops of trees that were all aquiver with the new spring life. Now children, what is the meaning of aquiver? It means trembling. The delicious breath of rain was in the air. In the street below, peddler was crying his wares. Now children, who is a peddler? A peddler is someone who sells things by traveling to different places. The notes of a distant song which someone was singing reached her faintly, and countless sparrows were twittering in the eaves. Now what are eaves? Eaves are the longer border of a roof that overhangs the wall. Now the picture outside the window is full of life, but she herself is as if she is dead. It is springtime. Spring is symbolic of new life. So she could see in the open square before her house the treetops quivering with new life. She could smell the petrichor of rain in the air. Now rain, children, rain is symbolic of new life. It rejuvenates life like it rejuvenates tree leaves, right? So a peddler was shouting for his wares to be sold. She could also hear a song being sung from a distance. She could hear it faintly. She could not hear it clearly, but she could hear it. She could also hear the twittering of the birds, that is the countless sparrows, which were twittering in their eaves. So all this shows that the picture outside the window is that of life. What kind of life? Life which is full of energy. So Chopin has used contrast to show Mrs. Mallet's feelings. So there is a contrast between Mrs. Mallet's house and nature outside. The world of nature is contrasted with Mallet's house, which is a symbol of Louise's restricted world. To feel free and lively, she sits before an open window and then she enjoys the new spring life. As soon as she moves away from the open window and descends the staircase, the front door is unlocked only to signify all the more confinement Louise would now face with her husband's return. So children, there is also a contrast between the ground floor and upstairs. So what is the symbolic contrast? There is also a symbolic contrast between the two locations in Louise's house. It is at the ground floor that she receives the news of her husband's death and she cries with sudden wild abandonment. As soon as she moves upstairs to her room, she looks at the tops of trees, quivering with the new spring life. It is in front of the open window in her room that she enjoys her newfound freedom. So children, the narrator has also used a lot of imagery, nature imagery in the chapter. So there is also an example of nature imagery in this paragraph. So the imagery from natural world becomes important to reflect Louise's entry into the spring of her life. the new spring life, delicious breath of rain, twittering sparrows are the images used by Chopin to emphasize the beautiful, free, and ecstatic life Louise is going to encounter after her husband's death. There were patches of blue sky showing here and there through the cloud that had met and piled on above the other in the west facing her window. So this is also an example of nature imagery. The clouds parting to show patches of blue sky symbolize how the death of Brentley marks the end of winter of Mrs. Mallett's discontent. Her life will now be filled with light and color. Louise, like the trees, quivers with life. She sat with her head thrown back upon the cushion of the chair, quite motionless except when a sob came up into her throat and shook her as a child who has cried itself to sleep continues to sob in its dreams. So she lay her head on the cushion of her chair and she was motionless, but every now and then when she sobbed, her sobbing shook her. She sobbed like a child who has cried itself to sleep and continues to sob even in its dreams. So this means she was not crying continuously, but in between a sob escaped her. She was young with a fair, calm face whose lines bespoke repression and even a certain strength. Now children, what is the meaning of bespoke? It means indicated. And what is the meaning of repression? It means a mental process by which distressing thoughts, memories, or impulses that may give rise to anxiety are excluded from consciousness and left to operate in unconsciousness. And even a certain strength. But now there was a dull stare in her eyes, whose gaze was fixed away, off, yonder on one of those patches of blue sky. Now what is the meaning of off here, children? It means to a distance. It was not a glance of reflection, but rather indicated a suspension. Now children, what is the meaning of reflection? It means serious thoughts or consideration. And what is the meaning of suspension? It means rejection. So she was young, fair, she had a calm face whose facial lines told about control, told about distress and also some stress. Her lines denoted that she had an inner strength. Her eyes now stare dully on those patches of blue sky. She was not looking at that blue sky thinking something seriously. It was just a blank look without any intelligent thought. There was something coming to her and she was waiting for it fearfully. What was it? She did not know. It was too subtle and elusive to name. But she felt it creeping out of the sky, reaching towards her through the sounds, the scents, the color that filled the air. Now children, what is the meaning of subtle? It means delicately complex. And what is elusive? It is something difficult to find. So as she looked at the blue sky, she felt that something was coming to her and she was just too scared to accept what was it. She didn't know what it was. It was subtle and difficult to be named. She could feel something coming to her through the sounds, the scents and the color that filled the air. Now her bosom rose and fell tumultuously. She was beginning to recognize this thing that was approaching to possess her, and she was striving to beat it back with her will, as powerless as her two white slender hands would have been. Now children, what is the meaning of bosom? It means chest. What is the meaning of tumultuously? It means intensely. And what is the meaning of striving? It means trying. So her chest was rising and falling, means she was breathing deeply, maybe because of excitement. She had begun to recognize That means the realization had dawned to her. So, whatever was coming to her, she had identified it, and with all her power, she was trying to beat it back with her willpower. But she was as powerless as her two little weak hands could be. When she abandoned herself, a little whispered word escaped her slightly parted lips. She said it over and over under her breath. Free, free, free. The vacant stare and the look of terror that had followed it went from her eyes. They stayed keen and bright. Her pulses beat fast, and the coursing blood warmed and relaxed every inch of her body. Now, children, what is they referring to? They is referring to her eyes. And what is the meaning of coursing? It means flowing. Finally, she gave up the struggle and gave a little whispering sound, speaking something through her slightly parted or open lips. She said it again and again. Free, free, free. So she had realized what was coming to her. It was the feeling of freedom. First, when she had realized something was coming to her, she had that vacant stare and that look in her eyes, which was a fearful look. Her eyes now have become bright and keen. That look has gone from her eyes. So earlier when she came to room, she was physically and mentally exhausted, but now she is relaxed. Her pulses beat fast, and the fast flowing blood helped her to relax. She did not stop to ask if it were or were not a monstrous joy that held her. A clear and exalted perception enabled to dismiss the suggestion as trivial. Now, children, what is the meaning of exalted? Means noble. Perception, awareness of something through senses. And what is the meaning of trivial? It means something of less value. So she asked herself if she was or not held by a monstrous joy. She discarded or dismissed that thought as if it were of no value or of a very little value. She now had a clear and noble awareness. She now had a clear and noble perception. She knew that she would weep again when she saw the kind, tender hands folded in death, the face that had never looked save with love upon her, fixed and grey and dead. But she saw beyond that bitter moment a long procession of years to come that would belong to her absolutely, and opened and spread her arms out to them in welcome. So what is the meaning of tender hands, children? Here tender hands refer to the hands of her husband. Save means accept, and procession is a series. So she knew she would cry when she would look at the kind, tender hands of her husband folded in death. His face, which always looked at her with love, but now is fixed and grey and dead. But she saw something beyond that bitter moment of looking at her husband's dead body. She saw a long series of years which would just belong to her only. So she opened her arms as if she was welcoming this new life of hers, where she would be free. There would be no one to live for her during those coming years. She would live for herself. There would be no powerful will bending hers in that blind persistence with which men and women believe they have a right to impose a private will upon a fellow creature. A kind intention or a cruel intention made the act seem no less a crime as she looked upon it in that brief period of illumination. Now, children, what is the meaning of persistence? It means prolonged existence of. Impose, it means force. Illumination, it means clarification. So she would not have to live for anyone else. She would just live for her own self. There would be no powerful will which will dominate her desires. The same dominance under which many men or the women believe that they have a right to force themselves or they have a right to force their will on the other fellow beings. It may not be cruel, it may be love, but so much of control on the fellow creatures suffocate them. Maybe Mr. Mallard was a loving person or a loving husband who had imposed his will out of love only, but Mrs. Mallard resented it. She sort of hated it. It could be a cruel or a kind intention of dominating her which suffocated her, and it seemed like a crime to her as she thought about it for a moment. And yet she had loved him. Sometimes, often she had not. What did it matter? What could love, the unsolved mystery, count for in the face of this possession of self-assertion, which she suddenly recognized as the strongest impulse of her being? Free, body and soul free. She kept whispering. Now children, what is the meaning of in face of? Means the way something appears when it is first seen or thought about. What is the meaning of self-assertion? It means the act of asserting one's own rights. And what is the meaning of impulse? It means a sudden strong desire to do something. Now she had loved her husband, but sometimes, and most of the times, she had not loved him. At this moment, it did not matter to her. She considered love as an unsolved mystery. It was not important because suddenly she had found a self-assertion that she was going to live her life in her own way. That is the reason why she kept on whispering, free, body and soul free, no one to control her. Josephine was kneeling before the closed door with her lips to the keyhole, imploring for admission. Louise, open the door. I beg, open the door. You will make yourself ill. What are you doing, Louise? For heaven's sake, open the door. Now his sister Josephine did not know what was going on in the mind of Mrs. Mallard. According to her, Mrs. Mallard was very upset and she could make herself even more ill. So she kept on asking her, she kept on begging her for admission. She wanted to come in. She wanted Louise to open the door. So she kept on saying, you will make yourself ill, Louise, please open the door. Go away, I am not making myself ill. Now this is what Mrs. Mallard replied. She knew that she was not making herself ill. Rather, she was enjoying that new freedom. No, she was drinking in a very elixir of life through that open window. What is elixir, children? A magical potion. So through the open window, she had received the essence of freedom and she was drinking or enjoying the magical potion of life. Her fancy was running riot along those days ahead of her, spring days and summer days, and all sorts of days that would be her own. She breathed a quick prayer that life might be long. It was only yesterday she had thought with a shudder that life might be long. Now children, what is the meaning of fancy? It means imagination. What is the meaning of riot? It means to go rapidly. And what is the meaning of shudder? It means to shake because of fear. She now wanted to have a long life, whereas just yesterday she was scared of the fact that her life might be long. So children, you can see the contrast here. She earlier was scared to have a long life, but now she wants a long life. She arose at length and opened the door to her sister's importunities. There was a feverish triumph in her eyes, and she carried herself unwittingly like a goddess of victory. She clasped her sister's waist, and together they descended the stairs. Richards stood waiting for them at the bottom. Now, what is the meaning of importunities? It means requests. And what is the meaning of feverish? It means involving intense emotion or activity. What is the meaning of unwittingly? It means not planning. Now, her sister, who was begging continuously to her to open the door, so she got up and opened the door. There was a look of victory, a look of triumph in her eyes, and now she carried herself as if she was the goddess of victory. She held her sister's waist, and both of them came down the stairs. Richards was waiting for them at the bottom of the stairs. He had not yet left the place. Someone was opening the front door with a latch key. It was Bentley Mallard, who entered a little travel stain, composedly carrying his gripsack and umbrella. He had been far from the scene of the accident and did not even know there had been one. Now, children, what is the meaning of latch key? A key for opening an outside door. What is the meaning of composedly? It means calm and control of emotions. Gripsack, it means suitcase. So as she was coming down, someone was opening the front door with a latchkey. Who was this? It was Bentley Mallard. He was a little exhausted because of travelling, but he was quite composed. He was carrying his gripsack, that is his suitcase, and his umbrella. He had been far away from the place where the accident occurred. He didn't even know that any such accident had occurred. So it may be some other Bentley Mallard who had died in the accident. He stood amazed at Josephine's piercing cry, at Richard's quick motion to screen him from the view of his wife. But Richards was too late. When the doctors came, they said she had died of heart disease, the joy that kills. So what is the meaning of screen, children? It means hide. So when Josephine saw Bentley Mallard, she gave a piercing cry, and his friend Richards quickly moved to hide him from the view of Mrs. Mallard, and this amazed Mr. Mallard. Richards did this because he knew Mrs. Mallard was suffering from heart problem, and seeing Mr. Mallard all of a sudden could be harmful to her. But Richards was too late. Mrs. Mallard saw Mr. Mallard, and all her dreams of freedom were dashed. She immediately died. But when the doctors came, they said that she had died of heart disease because she was overjoyed to see her husband alive. Now, children, see the last line of joy that kills. Chopin has used an irony here. Now, what is an irony? It is a technique that brings out the contrast between the appearance and reality. In the story of an hour, there is discrepancy between what is understood to be true by the characters and what is understood by the readers. While Bentley Mallard, Richards, Josephine and the doctors might believe Louise's weak heart to be the reason of her death, the readers are led to suspect that arrival of her husband killed her with joy. With the news of her husband's death, Louise finally manages to attain sense of self. She got self-assertion. It is now that she feels free from the shackles of matrimony. She now possesses control over her life. This possession of self-assertion was so strong a force that when she finds her husband alive, she immediately collapses. So the story's concluding line, "She died from the joy that kills," is ironic because she dies from an unpleasant shock when she sees her husband alive. She feels that she would have to give up her newfound freedom and return to the slavery of married life, where she would be controlled by her husband. So children, that is all for the story of an hour. Now for your homework, you will do question 1A and question 1B. Referring closely to the story of an hour, state Mrs. Mallard's feelings on hearing the news about her husband's death. And question 1B, what according to you led to Mrs. Mallard's death? Give reasons to support your answer. Thank you.